Here's a brief but annoying message to let you know that you could have first heard this episode 9 months ago if you were a subscriber to our Iron Filing Society Patreon offering.
For the price of a pint and a St Clement's each month, you can get up to 4 episodes a week, 9 months before the rest of the world gets them. Early access to regular episodes, lots of other marvellous benefits, and there's absolutely no adverts or brief but annoying messages like this that will get right on your ticks.
Find out more and subscribe now at tftimemachine.com/ironfilings.
Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go, this is it!
This is Top Flight Time Machine. I am Andy Hotbody Dawson. Pow, pow, pow.
I'm Sam Nifty Delaney. So what?
Welcome along to the Melchester Odyssey once again. And I have in my left hand the 5th of May 1984 issue of Roy of the Rovers. It's our third attempt at doing something with this one, which is astonishing really when you look at it, because it's got a massive helicopter on the front.
Yeah.
I'm amazed that we got sidetracked twice when we've got such delicious source material in front of us to dive into. But there you go. Just to recap, across the top of the front cover it says free Panini goal game cards and football badges, and we dived into what the Panini goal game cards were. They were the scratch cards, which look like loads of fun. I vaguely remember playing them as a kid, but nobody has retained the goal game card that originally owned this issue.
It is funny, Andy, how many games there were back then to try and recreate the thrill of football. Like, it seems strange, doesn't it? But because you've got football and you loved football so much that outside of watching games, there was, whether it was Sabutio or blow football or that one where you pushed their heads down. I can't remember what that was called. Was that called Cup Final?
Can't remember. Yeah.
Or Wembley or something. All these different games. And then there was dice football, which I was a fan of. You could get the actual dice that said different things on them, like pass to your teammate or throw in or tackle. Or what I did was I just used, I got 6 die.
Yeah, use the right terminology, please.
And I rolled them, and any 6s, I rolled them all at once out of a cup. And if it was a 6, that was a goal, right? So say I'd spend ages drawing names out of a hat, right? I'd rip up little bits of paper, write all the teams down, draw them out, make a tournament, and then say it was like West Ham, Sunderland at West Ham. I'd throw 6 dice for West Ham for the first half. However many 6s came out, that was how many goals West Ham scored. Then Sunderland were the away team, so I'd only throw 5 dice for them. Yeah?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Again, same rules apply, 6s. And then second half, same deal.
And then we only get 5 dice because we're the away team.
Yeah, because you'd have to make it realistic. You'd have to the away team would have to be at a small disadvantage, just a small one, just 1 dice.
All right, that's good. I like it.
And I would do huge tournaments. My brother taught me this system, and because I found an exercise book once of his, a school exercise, but it said something like English on the front. But my brothers, I knew that they weren't the best at attending school or doing their work. So I thought this will be interesting, and it was, because when I opened it up, all it was fucking every page, neat rows of these tournaments written out, really neatly. And I was like, well, what's all this? And he went, oh, that would have been my dice football league when I was about your age. So that's amazing. So he taught me, it's very simple, and everywhere I went, even when I went on holiday, even when I was quite old, like when I was 18, 19, because you didn't have a smartphone for when you were bored, and you had nothing to do, you're at the airport waiting or whatever. Yeah. Get the old dice out, get your pen and paper, bang, dice football. Huge tournaments, whole league seasons sometimes. But what's interesting is that nowadays no one has to do that, because not only, of course, do we have FIFA, Football Manager and all these other sort of extremely realistic football simulations. The main thing is you've just got football all the time. The reason we had to have all those things, whether it was scratch cards or whatever, was because you maybe got to watch one game a week.
Weren't we? Yeah, exactly.
You got one game a week sometimes, didn't you? Like on TV.
We didn't get any live games until about 1989. We got the FA Cup final and the European Cup final and the World Cup, and that was it.
And the World Cup. And then other than that, there'd be match of the day.
You'd have match of the day. Sports night would have highlights on.
Midweek sports special.
Midweek sports special. But that would be pretty much it, yeah. Or the Sunday afternoon, the big match, or shoot, as it was in the northeast.
Right, yeah.
And you that would be it. You'd have to memorise everything you saw. As
You'd
if
have
it
to
would be
just
just recorded in
sit.
your brain.
You'd have to sit, and it would be like a hard drive. Bit like the
Yeah.
one you'd also use in adolescence for for masturbatory purposes.
Yeah.
But you'd have a football one. And you just
Compartmentalised.
lie on your bed, look up your football memories, sit there with your eyes shut and just literally do that. Think of things that had happened in games. I still do find myself doing that sometimes.
The football bit, yeah.
Yeah, no, not there.
Yeah.
Oh,
the
my
other stuff.
masturbating days are right behind me. Distant memory now, my age. Fucking hell. As I've said before, who can be bothered with the fucking hassle? The setup,
Admin.
the clean up, the exhaustion. Fuck that.
But you've distracted me now. What was I going to say? And I was gone. No, the football highlights and everything. One of the highlights of Match magazine used to be the goal of the week thing, where they would recreate a goal with a pitch and the lines that the ball went in before it went in the back of the net, and the names of the players who were passed to and everything.
Oh, yeah.
So you could like recreate the entire move, and it was like, without being able to show footage, it was the closest you got. Oh yes, and then of course Hoddle crossed it in from the left-hand side, and it was nodded back by Ricky Villa into the path of Steve Archibald, who put it in from 18 yards.
Sounds like a good goal, that.
With a big arrow, didn't it?
Yeah.
All the talents there. So, yeah, I used to do I played out an entire season of Sunderland, and I had a book as well. And the house I used to live in, used to have a really long landing upstairs.
Yeah.
With all the rooms coming off. It was probably about 15 foot long.
Right.
And I used that as a football pitch.
I bet it felt like 100 yards long though when you were a lad.
Exactly. Because I was, it was probably 6 feet really.
Yeah.
So the door to the bathroom was at one end. That was one goal. The door to one of the bedrooms was at the other end, and the staircase was in the middle.
Yeah.
So that was a full length football pitch, and I had a A4 book where I'd write out I'd do it the same way they had it in the programme. You'd have a list down the left-hand side of all of the squad. Yeah. And then you'd put lines for each fixture, and you'd fill in with crosses who played in the game, and then put your results at the end. But it was just Roy of the Rovers playing out a season with all the highs and the lows. You wouldn't win every game.
No, you couldn't make it like that. You had to make bad times happen.
Yeah.
Because that's what makes it interesting,
play all the matches out and commentate
so
on them to
you'd
myself
be the
and all
opposition as well, so you'd go back and forth,
I'd play the entire game out as both teams.
It's amazing the amount. I mean, that's really familiar to me. I had this system that I still remember. I still think of it when I'm at my mum's house now, because her kitchen is still the same layout, and I'd get a tennis ball, and there was like a sort of a thing where I had to stand at one end of the kitchen, play a 1-2 off one bit of skirting, for one cupboard door, right? Then receive it, play a 1-2 off one on the other side, and then when I received that back, place that shoot through the doorway, without it touching either side, and that counted. And I'd take it in turns, like West Ham, then the other team, West Ham, then the other team. You both get 6 goes each, sort of thing. Yeah. And I still, there's never a tennis ball in my mum's kitchen anymore, but I might take one because I still when I'm there, I kind of imagine doing it. I'll sort of, still do the foot movements when I'm walking around their kitchen subtly, so no one notices.
Rod McDonald will come in and discover you're doing it and demand to know what you're doing.
What on earth?
What is this you're doing?
What on earth are you doing, dear boy? I've told you that he calls me dear boy sometimes, haven't I?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, now. Imagine that.
Anyway, let's try and get into this Roy of the Rovers issue. Fucking hell. Big yellow square on the front page to bring us up to speed with what we were talking about 3 weeks ago. Walford Rovers, the club that Roy Race had briefly managed, and Melchester Rovers had reached the final of the FA Cup. The Walford captain, Joe Bellamy, club cunt, had promised Roy, get this, in inverted commas, a war of nerves. What?
Fine, bring it on. I've fought
What's he promised me?
I've fought in many war of nerves.
Seriously, do you think he's meant to say something else there and he's got his words mixed up? What's that mean? A war of nerves? Fuck me. Joe Bellamy promised a war of nerves during the build-up to the final, and as Roy led out the Rovers for one of their last league matches of the season against Holverton, Roy is walking out with the ball under his arm, and he says, "What on earth? Listen to that noise!" And in the background there's a fan shouting, "Rovers, Rovers!" But that's not the noise that he's referring to. I've already told you earlier on what it was. And as Jimmy Slade says, "It's a helicopter, and look what it's towing behind it." And it is indeed a helicopter. It's a nice blue and white one. It's the kind you'd imagine Noel Edmonds would take to the skies in. And it's a stunt that's still pulled to this day. The hiring of an aircraft with a banner behind it, flown above a football ground. It is one of the cuntiest things that anyone can spend their money on.
I know, I always think that. Because I think Millwall have done it to West Ham before.
It's like, what the fuck?
And you're just sort of like, how much did this cost? Like, in terms of the cost to like the banter level, what I'm saying is that it doesn't annoy the opposition sufficiently to justify the cost. Do you see what I mean? Like,
if it says, let's say it's a grand.
Let's say it's a grand, right? Then me personally, but I don't get as wound up as some fans might. But even the most fucking uptight, self-righteous West Ham fan, if Millwall fly a plane over going, I don't know, West Ham mugs getting relegated or whatever fucking claptrap they've come up with, right? You just look, and to be honest, you just fucking laugh. Or you just go, oh, yeah. You don't go, oh, that's driven me mad. They've not just sent it to my face, they've flown it in the sky.
They've got it. They've infiltrated our airspace.
Nah, some things I cannot. I'm all fair's in love and war, but there are some things that I will not tolerate, and that is a war crime. You shall face justice for this, Millwall. Like, if everyone reacted like that, then they'd think, oh yeah, money well spent.
Job done.
But no one, most people don't notice it. I just think flying planes trolling people with planes, particularly in the era of social media, is so pointless and wasteful, because you could actually just troll them with a tweet and it would be just as effective.
You could get one of those paid tweets that appears in people's timelines, couldn't you? You could spend £1,000 on that.
Yeah, that's a good idea, actually. Yeah.
And and the banner that's behind this helicopter says FA Cup forecast: Walford 6, Melchester 0. So it's a childish banner.
Yeah, it's really shit banter as well. They said we're going to lose 6-0. That's so rude.
Well, the Melchester squad are on the pitch, and I can't make out who's saying these words because they're so small, because we're seeing it from above the helicopter's vantage point. One of the players says, "What the heck?" And then another one just says, "I don't think that's very funny."
Yeah.
That's the correct response. That's the correct response.
Yeah. I don't think that's funny in the least. Let's get on with the game.
Yeah.
Do you think it's rude and offensive? Not really. No, I don't think that either. I just think it's
childish.
To be honest, I think it's weird. I think
pointless.
Do you know what it is? It's infantile.
Yes.
What's an infantile joke? But what's it say on the other side of the banner?
Well, we go onto the inside pages, continue from front cover. It says, all eyes were on the helicopter as it made another pass over the stadium. I mean, to be fair, just seeing a helicopter would be exciting back then.
Yeah, it would.
Over the stadium.
I'd be terrified if I saw one now, because, like, they're not the safest things, are they?
No. So many people have perished in them. The banner is secondary, though, to the helicopter. And a fan says, "The cheeky blighters, Roy must be fuming." Guess again. Couldn't give a fuck. This is Bellamy's war of nerves, apparently.
You know what the biggest joke is to me? He's had to hire that helicopter, whereas I fucking own my own one. I could fly over his house today if I could be bothered, which I can't.
I'll sub myself off at half time and go do it then. We'll still win.
I'll
just make sure I score a couple the first half.
I'll take my lad Mongo up with him and encourage him to do a shit out the window of it over Bellamy's backyard.
We've practiced it on the ground level in the garden. He's very good.
He's an amazing kid. He can shit on demand. I've never seen out like it. I mean, I tell Penny, I say, look, he might not be conventional, but he has got his talents.
I said, you know how many shits he's done in the last hour and a half? 5. Fuck me.
He's like a fucking machine. I'm sure there's a way we can monetize this, Pen. But I tell you,
I know you said no to the circus idea, Pen, but I tell you what, he's got so many talents.
I tell you, we could at least get him on fucking, what do you call it?
Game for a laugh.
Yeah, no. I know Matthew Kelly. I've met him.
Henry Kelly.
Yeah, I know Henry Kelly. It's a weird story. I won't go into it now, but I've met him, and I could probably put a call in.
It's a really weird story.
He owes me a favour, actually. Again, I'm not going to explain the details, but he does owe me a big favour. Henry, it's Racy. Yeah, Roy Race. Yeah, how's it going? No, don't worry. No.
It's not about that.
It's forgotten about. I told you at the time it's forgotten about. We never need to mention it again. That said, I do need to call in a small favour. Remember I told you about my son, the backward one? Yeah, Mongo. Well, get this, he's perfect for your fucking show. Why? Well, I'll tell you for why. The kid shits on demand. I'm sitting here now with him. He's in his cage. I've seen him shit 5 times in the last 90 minutes. Now, if that's not fucking telly gold, I don't know what is. So I'm saying, let's get him booked in.
I know it's like prime time, so you probably have to pixelate the shit as it's coming out. You know what I mean? Or maybe
there'll be families watching.
Show it in a different way. You just focus on his face and maybe make a noise as it comes out. So you'd have to see it. But
you could put a comedy noise on, then you could keep cutting to Beadle's face, and he could be like, laughing, so we know what's going on. And then Sarah Kennedy could be holding her nose, to denote, it stinks a bit, I don't know. I'm not the TV producer, right?
Close up on the boy's face, because he really strains when he's doing it. It's quite comical.
He's a strainer. He is a strainer. He strains hard.
He has to when he gets to the 5th one. I don't know where he gets it from.
You can imagine, Henry. Henry, you're still there? Oh, sorry, no, I thought you'd gone. Yeah, so anyway, where shall I drop him off on Saturday? I could just drop him round at yours in the morning. You could take him into the studio with you.
No, you probably want to do a dress rehearsal or something like that.
But bag with all his bits and bobs, his medicines and his cups and all that.
Don't get him to do the shits in the dress rehearsal, because he'll have naught left for the show.
He'll run out. But keep feeding him.
It's not infinite.
I don't know. He's got limits. I don't know what our Penny feeds him. I think it's mainly like sort of dry biscuit type, like rusks. I don't know. But yeah, I'll find out from Penn what he's fed, and I might be able to give you a bag of it. You'll need to fuel him.
Jalapeño.
So back to Melchester. One fan says, the cheeky blighters, Roy must be fuming. Another one says, you can say that again. Look what's printed on the other side of the banner. And the other side of the banner says, Bellamy rules, ... Okay? Question mark.
Really weird.
No, it's not okay.
Is that a fucking question or a statement? If it's a question, I've got my answer right here. If it's a statement, why have you put a fucking question mark at the end of it? Jesus Christ.
You waste your fucking money, Bellamy. And the fans are going, boo! So the helicopter disappeared and the game got underway. Fans are saying, Joe Bellamy's got a lot to answer for. I wonder if the Walford directors know anything about it. I'm going to tell his line managers about this. Fucking hell. I wonder if his bosses know about this. He'll be in such trouble. And another one says, of course not. It's a personal attack on Roy by Bellamy to get the king stirred up. And it's working. That's a free kick to Holverton. That's a bit late by Roy. Roy's done a great sliding tackle. Slid along on his arse.
Sliding tackles are the best thing in football, aren't they?
Yeah, churned up a bit of grass. Perfect, that. Really good. Just kept his studs low so as to avoid any real damage. Good stuff.
You couldn't do that nowadays, mate. No fucking way. No way.
I'm surprised they give a foul here. The free kick rebounded awkwardly from the Melchester, inverted commas, wall. we're still putting wall in inverted commas. It's not a real wall. We've got to put inverted commas. The ball's fallen to a Holverton player. Oh, look what it says underneath, Sam. Do you want to see it? You see it?
Oh my God! I can't believe it. Hit it, Martin.
Hit it, Martin. That's there again.
That's amazing.
Yes. That's fantastic. I wonder if that was an in-joke or something.
It must have been. Hit it, Martin.
Oh, fucking hell. T-shirts available still, yeah?
Yeah, you can still get Hit It Martin T-shirts for sure.
Red Bubble, TFTM.
I think it's one of our least good selling, but I really like. You'll get a special praise if you turn up to any of our live shows wearing a Hit It Martin T-shirt.
Yeah,
you will get extra praise from us.
You might get extra praise.
If we see it, yeah. Praise. If you stand up and show it to us in the show and tell section, then you'll be singled out for special praise. Don't
encourage that kind of thing though too much, because the more needy listeners will grasp that.
I'm going to get one of the Budgie Recovery Bureau's Budgie Rescue Bureau T-shirts for tour. I think
I've already got one, mate.
Have you?
I bought one the day they went on sale. Yeah.
What colour did you get?
Black, I think.
Right. Okay.
Black or dark blue. Yeah.
Right.
Anyway,
I'll order mine today.
Tickets still available, by the way. Liverpool pretty much sold out. There's only a handful left.
Whoa! Brilliant.
London selling fast as well. Get yourself along. So hit it, Martin. Martin indeed does hit it, and he hits it past Charlie Carter, back of the net. Yes! Shouts someone in the Rovers' end for some reason. Suffering Stars, they've scored! And the fans are not happy. Come on, Rovers, this lot are already relegated. We were expecting a feast of goals from the cup finalists. Wake up! Yeah. Fucking the entitlement of these cunts.
I know.
This lot have been relegated already. They're not worthy of our division.
Useless.
Duncan Mackay reacted to the dismayed yells of the fans. They're right. Let's go for it, Melchester. Let's show our fans who, inverted commas, rules around here. What? That's a boy, Dunk, shouts a fan. And the Scots defender was soon living up to his words. He slaloms through a couple of defenders and lays it off to Neville Jones. Neville! He shouts as he gives him it. Great tackle! He's found Neville Jones! Neville Jones plays it further out to the left again. Roy! He shouts.
Lovely
Give
pass.
it the rocket, Racy!
It's a little bit Brazil 1970 / England against Holland Euro 96.
They are turning
sort of,
it right on.
The blind layoff, yeah.
The two greatest performances of football in history.
Yeah.
Give it the rocket, Racy, which indeed he does. And it belts off the post. Ooh! Oh, the keeper parries it onto the post, sorry. Fantastic save, but it's come back off the upright. And Duncan Mackay's charging in, thinking, that's mine. Duncan, he's following up like an angry bull. An angry footballing bull. Look at it.
That reminds me of that Paul Weller lyric from the song Precious. Like a hungry trout, I just help myself.
Yeah, that's come up more than once in this podcast.
Like a hungry trout, I just help myself. Right, I need a line, like to denote something that's hungry, but it's got to rhyme without. Oh, obvious, isn't it? Hungry trout. Trouts are always hungry, are they? Yeah. Have you never owned a pet trout? No, I haven't. Oh, they are starving hungry all the time. Insatiable appetite. John Weller that
give him it.
Yeah.
Put trout, boy.
Good trout. Boy, get that song finished. We got to be on top of the pops in 20 minutes. You've got that song finished yet? Oh, I've got a rhyme. What are you trying to rhyme with, boy? Out. Trout, obviously.
Trout, son.
You daft shit.
That'll fit anything.
Trout, hungry trout. I don't know, it sounds a bit weird.
Weird?
No, don't you worry about that. Pop music is weird. That's what the kids like.
It'll get them talking, that's the main thing.
All right, I've written it now. Let's go.
It'll get him talking in the NME. That's what you want. Publicity.
It's all a load of bollocks anyway, son, isn't it? Man, half the stuff you write don't make no sense. A town called Malice? What are you fucking on about?
You'll be working in a car factory in 18 months. Fuck it. So, Roy hits the post, comes back, Duncan Mackay nods, diving header, nods it in. It's there! But Duncan went in too bravely. He's taken a kick.
Good. I like
And he
the
has
dick
been
kick.
kicked in the ribs.
They've wrapped him in a blanket like they used to do with James Brown when he came off stage.
Or someone who's been rescued from a river.
Yeah, what they wrapped him? Quick, get the blanket!
Keep him warm. He's been kicked in the rib.
He can freeze to
Keep
death.
him warm. And Mackay goes, ooh. After a swift examination by Rovers trainer Taffy Morgan, the Scot was stretchered off. Stretcher the Scot off. Roy says, what's the damage, Taff? Taffy Morgan said, you better bring on the sub, Roy. I think Duncan's cracked a rib. That's why I put the blanket on him, obviously. Thought you'd have worked that out. And onto the fourth page of this.
Notice how the dugout, are they at home or away? But they've got one of those dugouts that are, was it like a dugout that goes down?
It's subterranean.
Subterranean dugouts are the best, aren't they?
They are.
They were also a good indie band from the early 90s.
Yeah.
They were a shoegazing band called Subterranean Dugout. They were sort of shoegazing guitar, but they had dance elements to them as well, didn't they?
Yeah.
They had dancey beats.
A lot of people said they piggybacked onto the baggy beat trend.
Yeah, but it was just post-baggy.
Their roots.
It's just post-baggy, but pre-Britpop. It was in that sort of like 92, sort of 93. And it was sort of, there was a lot of keyboards and drum machines, but over-the-top guitars. Anyway, Subterranean Dugout, check them out.
Yeah, on Spotify, check them out.
Yeah, I like Subterranean Dugouts in games, and I tell you what, there's not enough of now. But when you watch, remember when we went back and watched all the old World Cups films during lockdown? They were fucking great, weren't they? And that 1978 one where they walk out from subterranean changing rooms in Argentina with all the tickets. That is just so cinematic that I'm surprised that after 1978, when that happened, they didn't just. Do you know what I mean? Say, well, from now on, all stadiums need to be built that way. Because from a television perspective, now it's such a television sport.
It's gladiatorial, isn't it?
It's gladiatorial, and now they try to go for that vibe with the whole kind of, with the ball on the fucking plinth and all of that. You can do what you want, but nothing's better than walking out from underneath the fucking ground.
Yeah.
With ticker tape.
Into the fucking centre circle from below ground.
And there should always be an Ozzy Ardiles look-alike as well, because you want a little lad like that who just looks sort of almost too small for his surroundings. It makes the stadium look bigger, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, the centre circle should have like a trapdoor that opens up and then they come up the steps from beneath the pitch.
Yeah.
The centre circle.
Oh, yeah, of course. Fucking hell. They do so many modifications to football that I feel are like unnecessary all for the show. Wrong. But there's some tricks that they're completely missing.
Totally. Like my one with the jet of air holding the ball up above the plinth.
Superb.
So Royce having to think, darn Bellamy and his banners. Duncan wouldn't have gone in so hard if that helicopter hadn't showed up. Yeah, the helicopter, of course.
It's the helicopter, Roy. I couldn't help myself. The helicopter is set up in my nut rent free. In my heat.
It's that, what you call it, that Wally McGig. I can't remember the proper name for it. It's enraged me. Royce says, all right, one casualty is enough. From now on, let's forget all about Joe Bellamy and Walford and play it cool. Jazz time. Some fucking jazz football from Melchester. Blackie says, yes, we can take it out to Mr. Bellamy in the cup final. Whoa. Wink, wink. Know what I mean? But some of the Rovers were still seething at Bellamy's, inverted commas, Mickey taking. And there's Vic Guthrie gone in with a slider as well. Wins the ball, I think. Throw into Holverton. But Guthrie was a bit reckless. Steady, Vic, says Jimmy Slade. And Holverton, the useless relegation-bound plodders, take a long throw. Long throw! A good one, too. Right into Rover's goal mouth. Unfortunately, both Noel Baxter and Vic threw themselves at the ball, and we see them both jumping up very high and heading each other.
Vic Guthrie's gone right into the back of Noel Baxter's head with the sound. Oof!
Oof! And Baxter responds with, ah! Charlie Carter looks on astonished. Holverton players look on in delight, and Baxter goes down with a "Awah!" And no, Baxter fell awkwardly. His right leg seemed to twist under him. Under in bold type. Jimmy Slade hoofs the ball clear. Once again, Taffy Morgan was forced to leave his bench. And we don't see anything else. We don't see any crowd in the background. There's no grass. There's just a white background. I think David Skew must have been on a deadline.
Yeah. Just get this
done.
Filling
in the background of this panel. And a voice from the terracist says, let's hope the injury isn't serious or the Rovers will be going into the final with a team of reserves. And that's it. I mean, do Rovers have a team of reserves? They seem to have Nat Gosden in reserve, and that seems to be about it. So Gosden's going to be in the cup final by the looks of this. Fuck me.
Yeah.
90 minutes at Wembley, that unforgiving huge pitch. Nat Gosden, it's going to kill him. We'll see though. It says next week Rovers are down to 10 men. ... Then it's 9.
Whoa.
Oh my God.
It's quite exciting, isn't it?
I don't know where they are in the league. We've never been told. I assume that they win a few games. They're not in any kind of relegation danger. There was a website I saw once where someone had catalogued all of the matches that they play in each season.
Right.
And they generally play about 7 fixtures a season.
Yeah.
And all the results are there.
And they're not often announced as league champions either. That's the thing. They're supposed to be the best club and all of that. They sometimes win the cups, but there's never a big they've won the league. But I don't know if I'm imagining this, but back in those days, winning the league wasn't talked about as much as winning the cup. Like when we were at school,
the cup was the big thing.
When we were at school, I just remember when Spurs won the cup 2 years running. It was when I was first sort of remember being into football, and there were Spurs fans in my school, and that like we were just arguing constantly, like you do when you're a kid, like pointless arguments, like whose team's better. And it would just be Spurs fans going, we won the cup 2 years running. You can't argue with that. We're the best team in the world. And I remember thinking, they're right. I mean, I've got nowhere to go. They've won the cup. And I would be unaware of the fact that Liverpool were winning the fucking league every year. Weird, isn't it?
That goes back to that thing we were saying about football that was shown on telly. The FA Cup final was on telly, so it was a massive thing.
Yeah, that would have been
and it was nowadays it's been relegated to almost unimportance. Nobody knows who wins the FA Cup anymore.
No one cares, yeah. That said, I want Brighton to win it this year.
Do you? Okay.
Yeah.
I like how Brighton's manager who replaced Graham Potter seems to be better than Graham
He's
Potter.
Much better,
maybe Chelsea should have gone for him.
Well, apparently Tottenham are thinking of going for him. Now they've got rid of Conte.
Of course they are. That's him ruined then.
Yeah, that'll be in fact.
There's your football chat. Mark's at a 10 for that. I'm giving that a 10 because of the helicopter.
Yeah, 10.
Great stuff. And we'll be back with the next one next time, hopefully. Next week's the 200th edition, episode
special
of Melchester. We might think of something to mark it with, or we might just knock it out as usual.
Just forget what we've just said, yeah.
Yeah, all right, thanks very much. Goodbye.
Goodbye.